Good morning. It is Monday, August 25th. This is the Automotive State of the Union on Paul J. Daly. We have Steve Greenfield to co-host the show again. What better way to start off a Monday? And Steve doesn't really know it yet, but he was in the news, so he's going to be in the show while he can commentate on his own news. Isn't that what half the world is right now? People commentating on their own appearances in the news.
Might as well. I don't even know what this is in reference to, but I'm looking forward to it.
I mean, you're always down the ride, which is one of the best parts. Steve just shows up. He's like, all right, just hit it, throw it across the plate. I'll see if I can hit it back at you. It's fantastic. But okay, we are 4 weekends done in a 5-weekend month. It is one of those rare occasions when dealers have a full Friday, Saturday, a Sunday 5 times. So summer is going to be officially over. I mean, kids have gone back to school, but this is it, Steve. Do you have an official end to summer the way you think about it, or is just one long continuum that you operate on?
I actually get sad. I grew up in Toronto. So like you, the summers were short, and I always love those hot days, end of July, beginning of August. So when we get into September and it starts to cool off, I'm like,
I know, but you're in Atlanta now, so it's like the built-in sadness. But I mean, you have like 3 months of summer left, I think.
we probably do. It'll go right into November, probably. Fingers crossed, anyway.
Yes. I know you were telling us last time you have a lot of travel going on this next season. So you'll be all over the world trying a bunch of different things. Where are you heading again? Remind us.
I've got Finland. I've got Ireland twice, Berlin, Vietnam, and China. And I think that's the international trips. And then a bunch of domestic trips.
Oh, amazing. I can't wait to hear about all those. And you can give us the weather report while you're out there.
Right.
We do just want to let everybody know an upcoming ASOTU Edge webinar. This is mining your misses to make deals and win inventory with Patrick Janes and V Auto and Adam Claiborne of Mike Shaw Kia. This is Wednesday, September 10th. So you have a couple of weeks to register, but here's the deal. You always forget about these things. It's still summertime. Go to asotu.com, register now. So in a couple of weeks, you'll get the notification. You'll be like, oh yeah, I wanted to learn this, because if you have kids, especially, the next couple of weeks is just going to be bonkers. We have a holiday in there. So register for it now. Even as we speak, actually, Nathan and Spencer, our production team, some of our production team, are on their way to the annual NAMAD membership meeting in Las Vegas. I will be wheels up tomorrow. We're going to be there on the ground for 3 days, covering all the motion and movement between dealers, OEMs, and partnerships. And industry partners. There are so many OEM representatives at the NAMAD annual meeting. I will say it's probably the highest OEM representation to dealer in any event out there, because it's even higher in NADA because so many people go. So we'll be bringing you that coverage all week. Make sure you tune into the live stream, get the email at asotu.com, and we're going to be bringing you the live show in the morning, check-ins throughout the day, and lots of podcast content from our NAMAD sessions staged there. So Steve, you won't be with us, but you'll be with us in spirit.
In spirit, indeed.
It's focusing not only on industry excellence, but also some on creative vision, resilience, and innovation across just about every corner of automotive, digital stardom, strategic investment, and relentless dealership growth. Here are 3 that we pulled out. There's a number of them. You can go to autonews.com and see them all. But we pulled out a few friends we wanted to talk about. Our friends Grace Kerber and Ben Bushen went from a whiteboard in upstate New York to and love it. Their humor, their heart, authenticity earned them a big national audience and a new role for Grace at GM, working very closely with Mary Barra. And so they made the list. It's always awesome. I think these probably are the first content creators to ever make the list. So that's exciting. Also, Bill Karras, our friend, a mutual friend of Steve and mine, keeps Holman Growth Ventures in the fast lane. He secured a minority stake in FM Capital's $240 million fund to scale auto and mobility tech investments. He says, quote, "We are still going to go do direct investments, but they're not going to be near the size of the funds that we will own with our partners." And finally, I'm going to say probably the coolest guy on the list. Let's put the picture up, Miles. Teddy Morse, that is definitely the coolest guy on the list. This is Teddy Morse. He took the Ed Morse Automotive from 12 stores to over 50 while wearing cowboy boots, riding a Harley. And he has his deeply personal leadership style is out front. and he talks about the romantic side of the business and cars, but he also is a very savvy entrepreneur who scaled across not only automotive, but hospitality and all types of things. So go check out the list if you have a moment. It's fun to see the wide spectrum of people that Automotive News is highlighting, from content creators to investment capital to entrepreneurial. Well, I don't know what we'll call him, a rebel, an entrepreneurial rebel. Steve, you know Bill very personally. Do you have any feedback on the list this year or any of these directions?
No, it's great. It's great to see people that you know and you respect in the industry. And, I have to spend more time actually going through and clicking on everyone. But I had a chance over the weekend to see some of the folks that, you and I know well. And congratulations to them all. I mean, well-respected lists. And, these are definitely the folks to keep an eye on in the industry. And I look forward to checking them out.
I'm calling it right now. You're going to be on that list one year. I'm calling it.
I will. Yeah.
He goes, oh yeah.
Give me a few years. Give me a few years.
I just got a few years.
We're still building up ahead of steam over here. We're in the first inning.
Speaking of building up ahead of steam, that was the perfect segue into this next story, because this is the part where Steve Greenfield is mentioned in the news, courtesy of our friends at Auto Remarketing. This is via a story about a new player in the inventory sourcing space making waves, as the company Sell My Ride seems to be bringing on a very stacked roster of industry veterans. So basically, unlike traditional lead gen platforms, Sell My Ride is focused on helping dealers source inventory from private sellers. And Chip Perry, good friend of ours, founding CEO of AutoTrader, former TrueCar chief CEO, he has joined Sell My Ride as their chairman, calling it the best dealer-to-dealer public acquisition tool he's seen in 25 years. Steve, your Automotive Ventures is backing the company as part of a broader raise to support their U.S. expansion. Some other people also joining: Robbie Bezdek, Cox and iHeartMedia alum. He's bringing marketplace and media experience. And the platform is basically designed to be an always-on dealer-branded, consistent tool for sourcing private party vehicles rather than like ad hoc lead chasing. It's kind of a competitor helping dealers compete against Carvana. Chip Perry said in a statement, "Why shouldn't our clients capture all of those cars? That's what we hope. That's what we dream about. And that's what we are inspired to do." So Steve, you probably know a little bit more about this company than I do.
Yeah, so if you remember back, Chip Perry recruited me to come over to AutoTrader and report to him back in 2010 to oversee a bunch of acquisitions. And one of the things we launched was Trade-in Marketplace, which has now become KBB ICO, which is a great source of trade-in leads for a bunch of dealers across America. And what Dom Pope, the entrepreneur, has built here at Sell My Ride is very differentiated. Dealers get geographical exclusivity, so they're not competing with other dealers for the same leads, unlike some of these other lead providers. So they carve up whichever geography that they want, and they bring incremental trade-in leads that they can't get anywhere else through some combination of AI that goes out there and harvests intelligence on consumers and then advertises to these folks, but then also nurtures the lead, right? So dealers quite often get these leads shotgun to them, and then they just go in their CRM for their regular process. But what Sell My Ride does is actually takes the first step to start nurturing the lead. So we're really very, very excited that we've got a really smart, very motivated entrepreneur. Definitely got the right chairperson with Chip coming in with his history, knowledge, and the high levels of trust that he and I have working together now. And we think this can be a real game changer for dealers. It's bringing in cost-effective trades for dealers. So if dealers want to find out more, you can ping me. You can go to Sell My Ride, and we'll get you the URL as well. But very excited to be participating here with a new solution for dealers, and expect a big bang when we come out of the gates for NADA in a few months.
Oh, that's exciting to see. Let me ask you this about Chip. Him. Oh,
sorry. I froze for
we lost you for a second. I was going to say, how do you keep tabs on Chip? He's got a couple of years on you, and he seems like one of the hardest to keep up with people in this industry. Does he sleep?
Well, I'll give you a secret, two secrets, right? So one, I came over to work for Chip at AutoTrader, and I was like, whoa. I mean, his mantra back then was sleep is for the weak. and he lived that. And the reason I drink coffee today, I had never drank coffee in my entire life until I started working for Chip at AutoTrader. He probably doesn't know that, but I just had to really, really up my game. He's a maniac. He's impossible to keep up with. And even at this age, I mean, he's just entirely crazy. Like, he just took a trip ask him to, or get him on the show and get him to share some of the photos. He just drove solo in a 1958 Porsche 356 up to Glacier National Park from North Carolina. And he has great stories about breakdowns and all kinds of things on the road. But I mean, he is unbelievable. And yet, while he's still working, he's still taking Zoom calls from his Porsche on the road. And he's a maniac. But, you know, he's been a big inspiration for me, a big mentor for me. And it's just a real joy now to come full circle and be working so closely with him again.
Oh my goodness. We are going to ask him for the pictures, and he is going to find out that he's the reason that you drink coffee. We're going to make sure he knows that. Speaking of knowing some things.
Segue.
Got a great new survey. So this is a kind of developing question that everybody has about how Gen Z is interacting with the retail marketplace. And the new survey from Omnisend shows just how deeply generative AI has embedded itself in e-commerce habits. Now, over 1/2 of American online shoppers turn to tools like ChatGPT at least once per month to help researching, comparing, and even choosing products. 53% of U.S. shoppers use Gen AI monthly, the highest among surveyed countries, primarily for product research, recommendations, and deal hunting. ChatGPT leads the pack, used by over 65% of Americans who do engage in this type of behavior, and 1/4 of them saying that it outperforms Google for suggestions. Roughly 1/3 of the shoppers say that AI helps reduce decision fatigue, with 12.5% saying they're more likely to buy with AI assistance. Here's a quote from Omnisend's Marty Bauer. He says, Gen AI tends to act like a knowledgeable friend, but there's a difference between offering suggestions and someone giving access to your wallet. So this is a trend a lot of people are looking to, especially as it comes to car shopping. And I think we're going to just continue to hear more and more and more about people asking ChatGPT, which car should I buy?
Yeah, if you want to blow your mind, you use ChatGPT's new agent. They launched an agent that came out on August 17th, and ask it to go shop for a car for me. It's going to ask you a few questions, and then it's going to go to work. And 10 minutes later, it'll ping you and say, I'm done. And it'll provide you a report. You can watch it literally go onto these third-party market sites, dealership websites, scrape the data, come back to you with a consideration set and recommendations for you based on what it knows about you. And we just started to scratch the surface. So I think that more and more consumers, it's a very small percentage now, but more and more consumers will effectively outsource the consideration set building, the shopping process, maybe even the negotiation. And it's going to potentially really disrupt the traffic that goes to third-party marketplaces and to dealerships' websites, because dealers may find in the future that a growing percentage of my website traffic is actually bot traffic. Bot traffic always had a bad name in the past, but now it's going to be consumers outsourcing the shopping process to their bot, and you're going to be negotiating against the consumer's bot in some cases. So it's a brand new world. That's a
totally different consideration, because bot traffic, right? Mindless, intentless, majorly data scraping intentions. Now, like you said, no, it's different when it is a personalized concierge bot that a human said, go find me these specific things, report back, and then I'll tell you what I want. So it literally is more like an executive assistant than a bot. Wow, what a disruption happening. I think about companies who are going to be able to layer brand trust, like have an agent that also carries brand trust with it. So a consumer might trust an agent built by a name brand that they know and they trust and they understand, more than just the generic, ChatGPT agent, especially as people are trying to figure that world out. I think that the opportunity for essentially a third-party agent shopping service is going to be this bridge between a user being comfortable enough with using ChatGPT directly and then someone maybe a little older trusting a brand that they know, using an AI agent to shop on their behalf. So it is by far going to be the Wild West for the next 18 months.
Yeah, and I think if I'm a dealer, right, the thing to be pushing your vendors on, your website vendors specifically, between now and Digital Dealer and NADA coming up, really is, how do I make sure that the data on my site that I've got, my inventory, my pricing data, my reputation data, is going to be exposed in the right way, practical way to these bots. What was SEO in the past to make sure my website was crawled by Google will now be sort of, search engine bot engine optimization. And, expect to see a lot of the booths at NADA here in 6 months talking about how we can get your data exposed to these bots. It's going to be a small amount of traffic to begin with, but I think that traffic will accelerate, and you'll be seeing a significant portion of your traffic in the future coming through these bots. And you want to make sure you're positioned best to make sure that your data is being ingested and being represented correctly on these chatbots.
You know, you just mentioned a really important point, and this goes back. So I made a LinkedIn post about me using an AI agent to figure out the best company to seal coat my driveway.
Yep,
and,
yeah, I remember that. Yep.
And what got me is that when it was scouring reviews and I was watching it work, it verified the reviews that it saw on Google. It compared them to other sites to make sure that they weren't just full of like fake reviews. And I'm wondering how the reputation overlay for dealers will go across reputation sites. And then if that will somehow work into like, hey, this one has the best price. However, the reputation of actually being the real price is questionable based on these three sources. Whatever it is, we are in for a wild ride the next 6 months. If any industry can figure it out, automotive can. And I think we have an opportunity to figure it out first. Steve, thanks for joining us on the show today. Have a great day. Everybody else, have a great week. We'll see you tomorrow morning.